You may not realize this, but the Suncoast is a treasure trove of musical history. Now, vintage vinyls and other musical memories are available to you thanks to the Sarasota Music Archives. Manager Dave Barry has brought us a sample of the collectibles just in time for their musical flea market coming up. Welcome, Dave.
Welcome.
Glad to be here. Thanks.
I'm glad to be here.
Now, tell us, for people that might not know, tell us what the Sarasota Musical Archive is.
The Sarasota Music Archive is a treasure trove of music artifacts, vinyl, CDs, all kind of interesting stuff, including musical instruments. And we have over 411,000 items in the archive.
Wow. Do people donate things from their personal collections? How have you accumulated all these things?
Yeah, it's mostly donations.
That's great.
We get interesting stuff all year round. I never know what I'm going to find when I come in on Monday morning. Sometimes I'll find sitars, sometimes books. I never know. It's always a surprise. So I look forward to Monday morning.
So it's typically from Suncoast residents that have been collectors, and then people can donate to you, which is a good thing to know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and you have a flea market coming up, which we'll talk about in a little bit, but you brought us some samples of some of your items. Let's start with this poster, which has some great Suncoast history.
This is part of Suncoast history. This is a poster from the Oslo Opera, which was a precursor to the Sarasota Opera.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
In the early days, it was held in the Oslo Theater.
In the historic Oslo Theater? Yes.
On the Ringling Art Museum campus.
Sure.
Oh, wow.
And in 1982, this is a poster from then, a man named Alex Steinweiss lived in Sarasota for a long time, and he was the inventor of the record cover and the art that goes on top of a record. Because before that, records just came in brown plastic sleeves.
Sure.
Oh.
So he had the idea of marketing it, putting art on it to attract a customer.
Oh.
And it worked.
And was he a Suncoast resident?
He lived in the Suncoast during his
cool.
retirement
Who
for
knew?
about 20 years.
That's one of the things I love about your archive is that you get to learn history about the area through the pieces. Like we would have never known that he had that
record
career
art
and
was created
came here.
Yeah,
and a
he was
great
the
way to know
inventor.
too, before Sarasota Opera, there was this Oslo Opera.
That's
It
true.
Goes to show there's music lovers here. All right, the sitar
This
in the
is
room
amazing.
we have to address. This is incredible. Tell us about this piece.
This sitar was donated this year to the archive, and it's a beautiful piece of music history because it was made in 1951 at the Ricky Ram factories in India.
Let's rotate it a little bit so they can see the top.
Sure, and it was sold at the same store that George Harrison bought his sitars from in India in 1951. So he bought his a little later than that, but this was purchased at that time. And it's a great artistic artifact because it has ivory inlay on it, which we can't do anymore. And it has the staghorn bridge down here.
And then what is the base? I mean, it looks pumpkin-esque.
Yeah.
How does it get like that indent on the bottom? And is this a wood?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
That is wood, and it's formed around a special form. And this is actually the amplification part of the instrument. And then this is the neck that you see on a standard guitar. Although this one's interesting in that the frets can be moved, which would drive any guitar player nuts to try to keep it tuned. It's hard enough to do the pegs, but this you can move the frets.
Well, this could be a beautiful display piece in someone's home. Do you think this could also kind of be refurbished to be played again?
Definitely it could. Yeah, we got it in this condition. There's one string left on it, but it has many strings that you can put on.
Great find. Now, over in front of Stephanie, there is first that book. Tell us about the ledger book.
Yeah, this book is really cool. It's from 1910, so it's over 100 years old. And it is a collection of lyrics from an author in Wisconsin. And it is really some nice poetry in there. But the coolest thing about the book is the cover. It's a genuine leather suede cover.
It's very soft.
And it's very soft.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful artifact.
Are they handwritten? Oh, they are typed. Okay.
And it's autographed, and it does have other things in it.
And tell us about Pavarotti.
This is a Luciano record from the early 70s, 1971. Luciano was busy at that time, and this is some arias that he recorded in that time. So he looks a little younger than most of us remember him.
Yes.
And there's something very special about this, because I bet I grew up with an album like this, but not that had this.
Yes, this is autographed by the man himself, and it was autographed, it looks like in 1972.
Wow.
And if anybody knows Italian out there, I'd like to figure out what it says.
Yes, well, you know what? Anyone who knows Italian can come join you. There is a great event happening with Sarasota Music Archives this weekend, the flea market. So these items and so many more could be yours. The Sarasota Music Archives flea market is on Saturday, April 21st. It is 10 a.m. until 4
p.m.
4 p.m. You can find more information by visiting their website, sarasotamusicarchive.org. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
Coming up next, we're going to meet this weekend's McCurdy's comedy headliner.